Starting with you, Frank, what one question would you want to ask Mueller? What one question would you want to hear the answer to?
Question number one, if Donald J. Trump was not president of the United States, would you be able to bring charges against him for obstruction?
Joyce Vance, same question.
Well, Frank just stole my question, so I'll add to that one. I think we'd all like to know why Mueller did not ask the president to sit for an interview, why he didn't pursue the option that he had in court in that regard. But I suspect that if he's asked that, he'll decline to answer it, and we'll have to live with the answer in the report, which is that he didn't do it because of the time that would have been involved.
And to you, Jeremy.
I think the fundamental question is why? Why did Putin support Trump? Why did Trump want Putin's support? And why did everybody in the president's inner circle lie about it? I think once those answers are really brought to the fore, we'll have a factual basis to figure out how Congress and the American people are going to proceed.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.